no, I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like it was a misquote. Because see, if I was the editor-in-chief over there at People, I would have corrected Kandi for her. What led to the breakdown of the divorce wasn't because he was courting women behind your back. It's because he was courting women without you.
Y'all have no idea. Todd was never standing beside Kandi. He didn't betray her in secret. He betrayed her in plain sight, as if she'd already been erased. And now the veil has finally been ripped away. For a heartbeat, the world freezes. A slow, trembling vibration rises, the kind that whispers disaster before it erupts. Narrator, icy, detached, forensic. What Tasha unleashed next didn't just crack the Bravo fantasy, it obliterated it. The shot drifts into a shadow-soaked room littered with distorted legal files and half-lit images of Todd, his outline, his grin, the quiet kingdom he carved out inside Kandi's life. As Tasha revealed, the narrator presses on. This marriage didn't implode because Todd sought women in secret. It imploded because he pursued them boldly, without Kandi, without limits, without consequence. A faint shuffle slices the air, like forbidden archives being unlocked after years of being buried. The narrator's tone drops to a haunting whisper. Tonight, we expose everything the glossy magazines refuse to print. Every coded text, every midnight rendezvous, every line Todd stepped over without looking back. A blinding flash. Todd's face flickers on screen. A violent crack of thunder follows. Because Tasha K didn't just talk, she detonated a bomb of truth.
You were jealous. And a lot of women that do end up, and I know them. They bring people into their bedrooms because it's like they unintentionally but intentionally want to be the cool kid in school. They want to have the cool marriage. They want they boys to be able to say, my wife cool. She let me other women. And you think it looks cool that you look cool, but really it's an insecurity.
The screen sputters to life, no intro, no polish, just the harsh crackle of a live stream on the edge of emotional detonation. Tasha K appears, shaking, her voice strained under the weight of what she's about to expose. You really want to hear the truth? She whispers, eyes blazing straight through the lens. Todd never loved Kandi. Not a single day. He played the long game, and Mama Joyce was the only one who saw it. And now, after the divorce, he's crossed a line none of all ever imagined. The chat explodes instantly, comments flying upward like sparks in a dry forest. And then, dead silence. A silence so heavy it warns you something catastrophic is coming. A faceless narrator breaks in. Boss, what Tasha delivered next didn't just rattle the internet, it split it open. The camera glides into a shadowy montage of Todd's photographs, smirking, posing, standing far too confidently inside the empire Kandi built alone. A deep, throbbing undertone hums beneath the narration, mimicking a heart pounding its way into panic. Tasha's voice overlays, fragile yet furious. When Mama Joyce tried to warn Em, they mocked her. They called her the problem. But the moment that divorce filing hit the courthouse, the truth began spilling like a broken pipeline. A violent shuffle cuts the air, sealed documents being pried open, long-hidden secrets cracking loose. Viewers lean closer. The tension climbs. The narrator explains, Tasha presented alleged leaked papers showing Todd immediately moved to attack the prenup, a prenup Kandi believed would shield everything she built. Her career, her empire, her future. A blurred legal page flashes briefly, dramatic shadows drawing attention to its stamped edges. The narrator lowers his tone to a cold murmur. What mainstream outlets published was the cleaned-up version. What Tasha exposed, that was the nightmare. Tasha continues, Todd wasn't sneaking around. He flaunted those women. He walked into those meetups with pride, because Kandi allowed it, thinking it would keep her marriage alive. She had no idea how far he would push it. She never expected to see recordings of him with girls half her age. A dark reenactment flickers, Kandi stepping into a moment that steals the breath right out of her chest. A younger woman leaning in too close to Todd. Kandi's face freezes. The room freezes. Everything stops. A collective gasp sound erupts like a horror jump scare. The narrator presses on, voice now ice cold, and then came the most volatile allegations, the bedroom secrets Kandi prayed would never surface. Tasha erupts. Kandi was insecure. She opened that marriage from fear, trying to keep Todd from drifting. But Todd took her fear and turned it into leverage. He started seeing women without her. The screen bursts with chaotic flashes, shock emojis, lightning cracks, flaring alarms. The betrayal lands like a blow to the ribs. Narrator. This moment detonated across social media. Millions reacted instantly. The narrative shifted from messy gossip to emotional tragedy. Then Tasha drops the infamous hot tub reveal, her voice trembling with disgust. One night, this girl showed up in a lace bodysuit, in freezing weather, sitting in a hot tub with her legs wide open while Todd stared at her. Kandi pretended nothing was wrong, but inside, she was shattering. The narrator whispers, just reenacting this moment could crash the internet. Slow-motion droplets hit water like tears falling in slow grief. Tasha's voice returns soft and bruised. Kandi was terrified he'd replace her with someone younger, someone he thought was worth more. The narrator deepens further. That one line broke viewers. Fear, aging, worth, betrayal. It was a wound millions felt personally. And then the story twists darker. Tasha reenacts what she claims went down in court. Narrator. After the divorce petition was filed, Todd allegedly made a statement that sent shockwaves through the entire fandom. A dramatized Todd voice echoes in a hollow chamber. You let me see other women while we were together, so why are you mad now? You never gave me rules. The narrator snaps back in, voice sharp as glass. This allegation tore the internet in half. Fans fought. Couples argued. Generations clashed. It wasn't drama anymore. It was psychological warfare. The screen drains into colder shades, winters of gray and steel blue. Quiet, but only for a moment. Tasha suddenly spikes. Y'all don't hear me. Todd was allegedly picking up these side women, with the kids in the back seat. And Kandi had no clue. The narrator strikes like a hammer. This revelation, if accurate, became the most viral eruption of the entire stream. Comment.
The reason you filed is because Todd was out without you and didn't invite you. So now you feeling a little insecure. Well, you don't like my pussy no more. It's too old. What's going on? Why you don't like this pussy no more? Todd, what's wrong? You should be happy when this pussy, I took you off the street and made you a house dad. Why, Todd? What's wrong with me? Afraid he gonna trade you in for somebody younger? Afraid you can't compete with nobody younger? You open the door.
The narrator continues, tone surgical and chilling, like someone dissecting the ruins of a broken soul. These weren't rumors. They were X-ray level revelations. Tasha wasn't simply calling out Todd. She was peeling back the layers of Kandi's unraveling. The insecurity, the dread of time catching her, the terror of being replaced, the heartbreak of molding a man who ultimately abandoned her. The scene fades into a dim corridor inside Kandi's mansion, vast, hollow, echoing with everything she tried to hide. Narrator. This wasn't just a marriage ending. It was self-identity fracturing. It was the slow, silent deterioration of a woman who chose endurance over honesty. Tasha reappears, fire burning through her tears. Todd drained her. He drained her bank account, her spotlight, her sanctuary. And now, after all she gave, he's attacking the prenup because he wants even more. The narrator lowers his pace, almost grieving, and with that final revelation, Tasha didn't simply expose Todd. She exposed the architecture, a relationship built on fear, uneven power, and endless emotional compromise, and a man who weaponized every fault line until the entire structure came crashing down. The lights dim further. The heartbeat fades. A final breath of truth. This was never romance. It was a ticking clock. A downfall waiting to erupt. The shockwave from Tasha's final revelation didn't fade, it expanded. It seeped into timelines, into comment sections, into every digital corner brave enough to whisper about Kandi and Todd's unraveling. The world wasn't built for the magnitude of what she revealed, and once the truth escaped her lips, there was no rewinding it. Reality shifted. Illusions shattered. The glossy facade of a Bravo fairy tale dissolved, exposing a silent battlefield, one that had been waging long before reality TV ever hit record. The narrator returns, voice calm but carrying the weight of buried wreckage. Tasha didn't simply uncover Todd, she uncovered the blueprint of their entire dynamic. A partnership held together not by affection, but by advantage. Clips from old RHA seasons flash, Todd with that careful smile, always lingering just behind Kandi on red carpets, close enough to benefit, never far enough to disappear. His stance composed, his eyes calculating. A man who understood the power he was given, and the power he intended to take. The narrator continues, for years, fans believed Todd was the steady one. The grounding presence, the quiet strength behind Kandi's empire. But according to Tasha, that quiet wasn't peace. It was positioning. A faint metallic click echoes, like a forbidden door unlocking itself. Tasha's voice overlays. Todd treated it like a strategy board. And he played so flawlessly, Kandi never realized she was one of the pieces. An untouched dining room appears, table set perfectly, wine glasses gleaming under dim light, a symbolic portrait of a marriage pristine in public, but hollow to its core in private. The narrator leans forward, voice thickening, and once that divorce filing became public record, everything shifted. Legal pages flash, highlighted lines, circled numbers, signatures blurred into something ominous. Something deeper was crawling beneath the surface, something Kandi supporters weren't ready to confront. Tasha's voice returns, no longer furious but weary, as if recounting a tragedy she once hoped wouldn't unfold. Kandi held everything up. The home, the businesses, the brand, the kids. And Todd? Todd held the perks. The narrator dissects it coldly, so when he contested the prenup, when he demanded more, it wasn't just about money. It was a statement. A declaration that he deserved ownership of her entire empire. The soundtrack thickens, low, tense, suffocating. We move into a darker memory, Kandi sitting alone on the edge of her bed, drained, staring at her glowing phone while Todd was out. Notifications ignored. Messages seen but unanswered. A woman silently witnessing her world detached from her grasp. The narrator whispers, and that wasn't the only wound. A montage pulses, grainy hallway shots, obscure figures, nightlife silhouettes. The suggestion of someone wandering where they didn't belong. Tasha's voice returns. Kandi wasn't just trying to save the marriage. She was trying to see the truth. She was fighting to understand what she had already lost. Her voice hardens. People think she filed because he cheated. No, she filed because she finally realized he was already gone. A suffocating pause lingers as the camera zooms in on Todd's portrait, the image fracturing into jagged pixels, like a mirror collapsing. The narrator continues. The issue wasn't disloyalty. It was disappearance. Todd stopped seeing her, stopped needing her, stopped caring whether she existed in the room at all. A sudden crack, a door slamming, pierces the stillness. The narrator concludes, and even then, the public only knew a fraction. Cut to a dramatized sequence, a kitchen drenched in midnight shadows. Todd passes Kandi without a flicker of acknowledgement. Kandi watches him walk away, her jaw locking as the truth sinks in. Whatever warmth once existed had died long before this moment. The narrator clarifies. Eventually, Todd began seeking comfort elsewhere. Spaces Kandi never approved of. Faces she never wanted near their children. And still, according to Tasha, he welcomed them into their world anyway. A silhouette climbs into a car. A child's faint chatter drifts from the back seat. A young woman laughs softly beside Todd in the front. The narrator exhales slowly, and Kandi had no idea. No dramatic sting. No screams. Just a devastating, quiet realization. Kandi's grip on her own life was slipping through her fingers. Tasha's voice returns, stunned and outraged. She didn't know her own husband was using her home, her vehicles, her time, to entertain other women while her baby sat right there in the back seat. Another pause follows, thicker, colder, suffocating. The tone shifts into forensic detachment, and when those details finally reached Kandi, the entire facade crumbled. Scenes flash, muted arguments, footsteps stomping across floors, a woman repeating, "Why?" until her voice breaks. The narrator explains, Kandi confronted him. But Todd offered no remorse. According to Tasha, he defended it. A hollow, dramatized Todd voice echoes, "You allowed this. You opened the gate. I just walked through it." The narrator whispers, almost broken, and in that instant, Kandi understood the truth. What she had been protecting wasn't a marriage. It was a scripted illusion. The unraveling deepens. That hot tub moment wasn't about desire. It was about dominance. Todd didn't conceal it. He wanted her to witness it. He wanted her to feel helpless. A reenactment shows Kandi wiping her cheeks, forcing a smile as camera shutters explode around her. The narrator snaps in, voice sharp as a blade, and then came the blow that haunted her the most, the fear that hollowed her out. Tasha's voice slips through the darkness like a secret escaping a wounded heart. She kept thinking he'd swap her out. For someone younger. Someone he didn't have to pretend for. Someone who required less effort, and therefore got more of him. The ambient noise fades until all that's left is a single, pounding heartbeat. The narrator intones, that fear wasn't insecurity. It was foresight. Images flash, Todd posing beside younger women at various events, their faces blurred, but close enough to burn. The narrator escalates. Kandi didn't lose Todd in a single explosion. She lost him in fragments. One joke made at her expense. One text left unanswered. One unexplained night out. One woman introduced as just a friend. One more moment she pretended her chest wasn't cracking open. Then the true unraveling begins. The courtroom returns, colder, more hostile, judgment carved into every surface. The narrator states, "And when the judge asked why this marriage died, their truths didn't match." Kandi pointed to betrayal. Todd blamed confusion. The real explanation lives somewhere between heartbreak and manipulation. The narrator digs deeper, and with the prenup under siege, with public opinion shifting like a storm, with supporters drawing battle lines, one truth remained undeniable. A final montage ignites, Tasha's live stream melting down, fan reactions spiraling, media headlines erupting, Todd's silhouette swallowed in shadow. Narrator: Todd didn't simply exit the relationship. He walked off with her peace, her confidence, her emotional grounding, and now he's reaching for her fortune too. The screen collapses into total darkness. A single line types itself across the void. The truth was never about affection. It was always about advantage. Silence follows, but it isn't relief. It's tension. A suffocating tension built over years, stitched into a marriage the world thought glittered with success, luxury, and everlasting devotion. But beneath the glamour, something toxic had been spreading quietly, thread by thread, until it poisoned the entire foundation. The narrator returns, voice measured, cold, deliberate. When a marriage is built on advantage, every disagreement becomes a deal. Every apology becomes a bargaining chip. And every quiet, he violated every boundary. She loved him deeper than he ever loved her. Each remark drips with accusation, strangers breaking down a broken marriage as if analyzing forensic clues. The narrator pushes deeper, and behind closed doors, Todd sought something even more disturbing, emotional comfort from the very women who helped fracture the marriage in the first place. A reenactment appears, Todd seated in a dim lounge, leaning in toward a faceless woman. A phone buzzes. Another message from Kandi, unopened.